Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I want to talk a bit about Pokemon, specifically one of the newest Pokemons, Decidueye. Now when I see this Pokemon, it's pretty cool. It has a ghost typing. That's different, that's creepy, that's interesting, but the big question is why? Why would it have a ghost typing? Why did Game Freak give it a ghost? Well, actually, you could probably make the assumption that Game Freak first came up with the idea, let's have a grass starter who is also part ghost. And then they were able to come up with some idea or reference to why it's ghost, to justify it in terms of our world's logic. And looking into Decidueye, it actually does have some real world logic that justifies why it might be a ghost type. And that's pretty cool. So I want to talk about that. To figure out why this thing could possibly be a ghost type, well, let's start off with the name. The names of Pokemon usually give us a pretty good idea of what's going on. So Decidueye, let's ignore the eye. That eye is pretty much referring to his marksman-like qualities. It's pretty much explaining why he might be an archer. But let's look at this part. So Decidueye. Decid is coming from a word deciduous. Deciduous refers to a certain type of tree or shrub, specifically the kind of tree that loses their leaves seasonally. Deciduous itself means falling off at maturity or tending to fall off. So when you consider that, you consider the tree that's going through autumn and it's about to lose its leaf, you can pretty much say that the leaves are dying. And so the dying aspect kind of reinforces the idea of the ghost type. So that's pretty cool, deciduous. And now you can kind of say, well, that's how you pronounce it, Decidueye. You would pronounce it based on its base word, deciduous. But is that enough to really justify why this particular Pokemon is a grass ghost owl? Well, actually, if we look at its pre-evolution next, because what the Pokemon Sun and Moon website is telling us isn't enough to make any conclusions, but if you look at its pre-evolution, you'll find that its name is Dartrix. Now, why is this important? Again, looking at the name Dart, you can kind of say, well, it's because he's shooting, he can fire feathers off, and it's like that, it's sort of kind of like darts. That makes sense. But what about the Trix? The Trix is where things get interesting. But here's what's going on. In Hawaii in particular, there was a species of owls that have now gone extinct. This particular species was called the stilt owl. But now you might be wondering, well, what does that relate to Dartrix's name? Well, actually, the stilt owls were also called Grillistrix. And this is where the link comes in, this tricks part. Because these owls in particular were called Grillistrix on the island, and that translated on owls on stilts, things become more clear. They pertain to Hawaii, and they are now extinct, and they are most likely linked to this family due to the Trix part that's in Dartrix. So why is it a ghost type? Well, there it is. It's because it was based on an animal that is now extinct, and that's pretty cool. That's what I'm gonna say is the reason for Decidueye having the ghost typing. So props on Game Freak for linking so many things into this one Pokemon. Props to them linking the environment that Alola is based on. Props to them for using a owl that has long since died and using the idea of extinction as something that represents a ghost type in a Pokemon. Really clever stuff on Game Freak's part. But as we know, ghost types in Pokemon usually have the creepiest backstories, so finding out exactly how Decidueye became a ghost in Pokedex lore is going to be interesting, and it's going to be something that I'm going to be very interested in seeing in Pokemon Sun and Moon. But anyway guys, let me know what you thought of this little video. Let me know if you have an alternate idea of why Decidueye might have that ghost typing. And until next time, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.